Hey people, welcome to another video. I don't really have a topic in mind, but I thought I'd just pick up the camera and just fucking talk. Because, why the devil not? So we actually just got back from Venice. I was in a vlog, but to be honest, it can be asked. So, yeah, I'll just take you through my day. I'm sure I'll make up a topic on the fly because I'm a sick guy. Does that rhyme? Wow. Anyway, food. So if you aren't following my my Instagram, you'll know that I am dieting as of right now. Is it in date? Yes, it is. I am dieting as of right now. So what I'm going to be doing is dieting for the next 30 days. Well, not next 30 days. I'm already about 7 days in, 8 days in. But I'm basically going to be dieting for get down. For basically Miami, which would be pretty cool. It would be nice to. I say nice to get away, like I went to Venice, so it's kind of like, yeah, that was nice also to get away, but yeah, I'm going to be doing my normal workout there. It's just a trip really, there's no real intention there. But yeah, basically I was going to mini-cut in June, however, it kind of makes sense just to bring it forward a little bit because we just basically, I'm having a slow rate of gain at the minute, so I'm being very cautious with the rate of gain up until June. So it might just make sense, especially with the little pec incident that occurred a couple of weeks back. It might actually just make a lot of sense just to mini cut here for the next 30 days, basically clean up and then basically go into a massing phase when I'm back from Miami. So it'll also look pretty sick for Miami. I'm not necessarily going to look shredded, but definitely a lot better than now. So what we're doing is basically kind of like loosely tracking. Basically what I'm doing is like massing phase tracking in a mini cut. So my calories right now are like 2,000, which is actually quite easy for me. So I've got like structured meals in place. Obviously in Venice I didn't, but basically from now I do until like for like 3 weeks. But yeah, you kind of don't want to, in a fat loss phase, if you've been through like a really harsh diet, like a prep, you don't really want to have like a prep and then a massing phase for a short amount of time and then go back to like prep tracking, because I think ultimately that's where most food relationship issues come from. So I'm just being very cautious at the minute. Basically, obviously I've had the prep. This mini cut's just going to be a bit like, I'm just going to be a bit looser with basically the tracking, hence why calories are actually seemingly quite low. Because I normally diet, like the lowest my kind of calories got in a massing, or sorry, in a prep was about 2,400. I'm about 400 calories down from that. It's Jesus Christ, almost fell off my chair. It's because the 400 calorie difference is because I'm allowing for not being as meticulous with tracking. So usually I diet on 2,400 calories when I'm absolutely meticulously tracking. I'm on 2,000 calories and I'm not meticulously tracking, so I'm pretty much guaranteeing I'll have like 400 calorie leeway either side. That's what I meant by that. Anyway. So yeah, it's only for a short amount of time anyway. I've already lost about 2 kilos. So yeah, I'll show you how the physique is looking in due course. But yeah, anyway, I think I said meal one. But meal one is basically going to be a shake alongside some protein. Some milk and protein, which equals a shake. You know, a couple of vlogs back, I said basically that I was considering quitting YouTube. I had an overwhelming sense of fatigue, not necessarily from vlogging and stuff, but definitely like a sense of fatigue in the fact that everything just felt like a slog. Training, picking up the camera. Yeah, I just felt very, very fatigued, and in that moment I was like, fuck this, fuck YouTube. Turned out to be COVID. Yeah, so I pretty much, when I was doing that full day of eating vlog, I pretty much categorically had COVID. So I was feeling quite ill, lethargic, but rest assured, your boy is not quitting YouTube. I'm going to be here until I reach 1 million subscribers. Which should be a fucking while. But anyway, we are in for pull. We're going to go for reignite, which, to be honest, I don't really like. It just makes me sweat profusely. And then we're also going to have grunt EAA. Not really a massive fan of Raycon one, however their EAA is pretty lit and it was on sale, so I got this, and then we're gonna go and train. Should we do a fit check? I feel like I'm getting more into fashion and fitness and shit, so we'll show it off. So, we have Nike Zip that oh, it doesn't normally get stuck. We've got trackies, yeah, and Fear of God sneakers. Anyway, let's just fucking train. So you know I said I was gonna make up a topic on the fly. Well, here I am, making up a topic on the fly. But I thought it'd be a very good topic to talk about would be mini cuts, considering I'm in one, right? And I talk about pretty much what I do for the whole time, so I might as well just run you through exactly how you can basically run your own mini cut and be successful with it, because essentially I think that a mini cut is one of them things that sounds very sexy, but is fucked up a lot of the time. Well, you'll also see my pool session that I was going through today, but yeah, so a mini cut, basically what is it, right? It's around a 3 to 6 week cut that's very, very aggressive. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's definitely not for the inexperienced dieter. It's definitely for the experienced dieter. You got to think these cuts are going to be very aggressive, taking off between 1 and 1.5% rate of loss every single week. So it's not going to be like this breeze kind of going into it. I wouldn't expect that at all. So if you've got like a poor relationship with food, and as I said in the kind of previously in the vlog, if you've gone from a contest prep and you're only in like a 3 or 4 month bulking phase, or massing phase, you're probably not in a great spot to then go into a really harsh deficit, because you will get very, very prep-like symptoms very quickly into the diet. Like, for instance, I was only dieting 2 days and I'm like, wow, I feel terrible, I feel like hypoglycemic and stuff, but again, I have a very good relationship with food, so I can kind of handle that situation. So do all the good things in terms of like making sure you've got a good support network around you. I have Nat, which is fucking great. I have obviously Instagram to keep me accountable, but make sure you have all that before you even consider a mini cut. So I would have a 1,000 calorie deficit. I would run, again, no longer than 6 weeks. Do not go any longer than 6 weeks. If you're going longer than 6 weeks, don't go into this harsh of a deficit from the get-go, because you will probably lose muscle instead of fats. The whole intention of this is that you're in a position where potentially you've accumulated a lot of fat and you need to get rid of it pretty quickly. And this is basically a short amount of time. And if you do this for a short amount of time, the goal will be you strip body fat back. You improve insulin sensitivity, because when you're leaner, that's essentially what we're doing here. Your appetite comes back and all that good stuff. Again, this isn't something you would run long term. I wouldn't necessarily push in a lot of cardio. I would just take the deficit from basically calories, and I'm taking them from steps as well. My steps are at 10k at the minute. But yeah, I would basically caveat and say, look, if you're looking to mini cut, there's basically how to attack it. 1,000 calorie deficit, don't do any cardio, very short amount of time, have a good relationship with food, have a good support network. But please don't do it if you have not got a good relationship with food, and actually ask yourself whether you actually have got a good relationship with food, because it's something that I see time and time again. It's just people who go into mini cuts and then, or like kind of a tiny little massing phase, go into a cut, tiny little massing phase, go into a cut. From an outsider's perspective, it's kind of what I'm doing now. However, I'm in quite a good position at the minute, and I am quite experienced. So again, I can get away with this, but for 90% of the population, I would not advise this. But you probably want at least 5 mesocycles of a massing phase between cuts to even consider a mini cut. So there is that caveat as well to even think about. But I would keep protein high. I would obviously keep carbohydrates pretty damn high. I would also keep fats around the same level as you do a massing phase, and that's pretty much how you set that bad boy up. But yeah, you would probably lose anywhere between like 10 to up to about 25 pounds, depending on how long and how much you really need to cut back. Like I would say, and you'll see a physique shot in a minute, I would say that dragging me from around 88, or actually 89 to about 82 is probably where I'm going to go, and then that will put me in such a good position to have a long runway of a massing phase for pretty much the rest of this year. I don't intend to have another mini cut this year. This will be, that's it. that's kind of good to go, and it will put me in a great position. So, but I'm reasonably happy with my physique. I didn't actually need to mini cut here at all. It just kind of lined up very nicely with certain situations, which I obviously spoke about in the last vlog, regarding to obviously the pec tear, also not pushing in food when I had the pec tear basically. But yeah, but very happy with the physique at the minute. Looking pretty sick. I tried a men's physique pose, which maybe not that great, but there it is. And there's the back. There's a weak back, which we're trying to ever grow. Anyway, back to the vlog. So I thought I'd actually just go through. How to actually set up your mini cut, because essentially I just went through how to kind of a basic overview, but didn't really give you any kind of key takeaways. I find with like voiceover stuff is that you're basically trying to time your voiceover so it cuts kind of right to the end of where the obviously clips are cut, right? So you kind of feel almost a bit rushed. However, what to do in terms of your nutrition and kind of training, because training does actually slightly differ a little bit. So we'll run through that right now. So in terms of your nutrition, you probably want to be finding out your maintenance. So in terms of finding out your maintenance, I very generally, for most people, I would just times their body weight by 14. That will give the lower end of kind of their maintenance calories. If you feel like you've got an active job, just go times by 15 or 16. Obviously, if you've got a very active job, 16. If you've got a kind of sedentary job, sedentary, is that how you say it? Anyway, you're sitting down all day, basically at a desk, times by 14. From there, deduct by either 1,000 or 700 calories. So between there would be absolutely fine. Potentially it might be worth starting at 700, then obviously increasing to 1,000 over time. So that's how to set up your nutrition. Very simple, very easy. In terms of your training, you probably want to go on the lower end of your volume threshold. Say for example, you find out that your volume requirements are say at like 10 sets per exercise is a very bold kind of picked out the air number, right? You probably want to go to about like 70% of that. So in that instance, you probably want to go to 7 sets of everything. The reason being is that, as established in the voiceover, it is very, very fatiguing being in this mini cut with a harsh deficit. You don't really actually at all want to have a severe deficit and then have like sky high volume. At this kind of phase, at this time period, in a mini cut, you probably want to bring that back down to baseline. You could also have, which is kind of what a mini cut is very good for, you could have like a multi-purpose use of a mini cut, and you could actually resensitize to training volume. So what happens is over time, and especially in a kind of in the masking phase, you do have adaptive resistance. So essentially you can do more and more and more and more, and it's just harder to gain hypertrophy over time. So what you would do is basically skim that down. You would bring everything back to baseline, and then basically resensitize your training volume, and then go from there. It's almost like if you drink loads and loads of coffee, after a while, this kind of monster is not going to give me the same benefits. So what happens after a while, I have 2, and 2 is not the same, and have 3, and 3 is not the same. For the only way you can actually bring you back to baseline is actually just stopping and then starting again. Then 1 is very kind of, I'll get caffeinated from 1 again. So that's basically what we're doing in terms of the mini cut. We can just drop volume right back and then basically go again. In terms of adaptive resistance, you could pretty much gain muscle. Number 1, you're leaner because insulin sensitivity is on point. So you basically can gain more muscle at that kind of intersection into the massing phase. And also you can train with very little amounts of volume, so it's almost like easy gains at the start of your massing phase, at the back end of a mini cut. So yeah, that's basically mini cut 101. I think I'm going to end the vlog here. I'm actually going to go train legs, which I might film, but we'll see. Anyway, I won't take another sip. I'll say goodbye. Hope you took something away from the vlog, and yeah, I'm probably going to do a vlog on exertion headaches, because I've got a lot of people on Instagram basically message me about how did I fix my exertion headache, because I did make a vlog about exertion headaches and if it did actually go and how to get rid of it. So I'm actually going to make a vlog on basically how I got rid of it, how I get rid of it with clients now, because I found a few kind of tips and tricks along the way which could benefit you all. So I might as well basically make a vlog on it, so you've got that, and it will help a few people out, which is good. Which is the main aim of this channel, to help people. So yeah, anyway, hope you all, and I'll speak to you very soon.